What is the deal, nation? Happy Labor Day, y'all. Not happy Monday, happy Labor Day. We're just under a week away of Raiders football. It is finally almost here. I am happy, I'm excited, and we're going to go ahead and break this week one versus the Patriots down. This is Raiders Unfiltered. Let's go.
Inside Allegiant Stadium for the first time this year. Touchdown Raiders! Touchdown Raiders! And for the touchdown! Through from behind! Ball's out! Raiders!
Yo, what is the deal, nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. I am your host. I am Jay Raider. Appreciate everyone pulling up with me, rocking with me on this Labor Day Monday, wherever you guys be at, whether you guys are at, hopefully you guys are at the crib and you're not at work. That is a damn sin if you guys are stuck at work. But I hope you guys are at home, relaxing, enjoying your day off. If you guys stuck at work, I hope this helps to go ahead and make the day go by a little bit faster. Appreciate everyone tapping in with me on this Monday night. Salute to everyone in the chat, in the building. As always, got to go ahead and acknowledge everybody already here. Really quick, let me go ahead and start off with my guy Robert Ping in the building. Salute to you, brother. With hold on, I got to do it right, dog. There you go.
Raiders!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Raider Paul in the building with the
Raiders!
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. Shout out to Bueno again, man. We're gonna do it all day, every day.
Raiders!
Raiders. You already know. You already know. Salute to my guy Jason Downs in the building. Salute, brother. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute, salute. My guy John Leone in the building. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. My guy Sacktown Raider Mike in the building. Salute, my guy. What it do? Appreciate you pulling up. My guy Frank Weber. Salute, brother. Appreciate you tapping in. My guy 805 in the building. Real Talk Raider Nation. You already know what time it is. Make sure you guys go ahead and give my guy 805 a subscribe if you're not subscribed already to my guy. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. We're gonna go ahead and get it rocking on this Monday night, Monday afternoon. If you're on the West Coast, it's still afternoon over there. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Jeff in the building. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was actually watching this right before I came on. Just sneak peeked it a little bit, but keep me abreast of that score. That's uh, Belichick's first game at UNC. So let's see if he could work the magic at the collegiate level. Uh, but appreciate everyone else pulling up, rocking with me on this Monday night. As always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on this podcast. It does go a long way to go ahead and support the show and get the show out there to the YouTube universe and preach the word of the Raiders out to the masses. Appreciate everyone pulling up, especially if you're feeling what you're hearing. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button as always, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Raiders versus Patriots week 1 preview. Man, oh man. Love it. Literally less than a week away before we go ahead and get the damn thing started with that. But I think we're really excited for the unveiling of the Chip Kelly offense. We are finally going to go ahead and be able to go ahead and see it in action, something that's been really held secret and coveted this offseason. And we've seen nothing but vanilla in this preseason. Now it's time to go ahead and change it up and see those 31 flavors, baby. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. But with that being said, obviously we got a couple new additions, but primarily on offense is our guy Coop. He's back. So what does this mean? What will Coop's contribution be in this Chip Kelly offense? Obviously, that's another weapon that's going to be out there, a guy you can go ahead and line up on the outside or in the slot. I definitely think he's going to go ahead and get a good amount of targets. You know, you gotta respect Coop. You know, he's not the same guy as of old, but he can still be a threat out there, no matter what. So you got to go ahead and respect the guy. I think that we're going to go ahead and obviously we're going to see Coop be on the outside. Normally, what Dante Thorne's going to be lined up. It's already been said. I think he's going to make a little bit more of an impact than Dante would. But on the flip side, you already have that deep threat, and Dante, you have that speed. So if you guys get these guys lined up for wide, man, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. So I'm excited to go ahead and see him. Definitely a depth piece. He's going to be a rotational guy, and he will make some impact. He won't make a big splash, but he'll be definitely another guy you got to go ahead and look out for. A guy you got to go definitely respect for sure. Really quick, y'all. Salute to everybody who's watching on Twitter. I am live now on Twitter. I am also rocking on Instagram. So if you are watching on Instagram, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that link. Flip over to YouTube. Come on through. Be a part of the chat. As always, salute to everyone rocking with me on this Monday night. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Genty's impact. Much anticipated. We finally got a run game going. What is really going to be his impact going into this week 1? Are the Patriots going to have an answer for him, or he's going to be continuing to truck dudes? That is a question. But most importantly is that we're going to finally have that run game established. It's so important to go ahead and have that where not only can we need that for our play action, but really to go ahead and be able to run the ball, set the tone in the game, and really control that line of scrimmage, the game clock, all that, things that we struggled so much to do last year. We finally be able to go ahead and actually have a run game that can actually do those things that we need to have done. But let me know what you guys think, what Genty's impact is going to be coming up on Sunday. Literally Sunday. That's crazy. But I'm very excited. We're going to see a lot of Genty. Obviously, we know that the reps are going to be there. Um, I'm thinking he's probably going to he's probably going to have anywhere from like 70 to about maybe 100, maybe 100, anywhere within that range. And I think we need to have that in order for us to be able to have a really good game for us to be able to go ahead and have a shot to even think about winning. This game is not only going to be won through the air, but it's also going to be won through the ground. It's just really Genty versus Hampton in this game. We saw what Hampton did in preseason, but obviously that was just through special teams. But now we got an actual running back that can go in and get those big yardage, and especially in that red zone situation where we need a guy who can be able to go ahead and run the ball. We have also Raheem Mostert right behind him that can be also that nail, but the true nail is going to be Zamir White, where we need him in certain goal line situations where this guy can just go ahead and pound the rock in there. Like I said on the Saturday show, that's really where you're going to utilize Zamir White. And you kind of need that. You want to go ahead and preserve Genty. Remember, we got 17 weeks, 18 weeks, so we need to go ahead and make sure we have this guy healthy. And you got to try to preserve him in certain situations where if you need a guy who just goes in there and bulldozes, you got a guy like Zamir White, Raheem Mostert that can go ahead and pound the rock in there for sure. But I feel that we're definitely going to go ahead and see Genty's impact in full effect in this Chip Kelly offense. We're going to see him run the ball. We're going to see him catch the ball on running out flats, different schemes that Chip is going to go ahead and dial up on Sunday for sure. But I think before I even get into anything further, I think the real question is, can the O-line step up and really hold it together? And I think that, we've talked about this offensive line for the whole offseason, preseason training camp. Can this O-line really step up, hold it together, provide protection? We have some questions, right? There's questions in, can JPJ really be successful in that right guard position? Can Meredith really run that center position, right? We know about our tackles, Colton Miller and DJ Glaze. They're good. But that interior really kind of more outside of JPJ, which is Dylan Parham. Can you really go ahead and really step it up, right? The gameplay has improved from previous seasons, but that question still lingers. Can he produce? Can he be better? We had some transactions happen over the last week and a half. We got a swing tackle, but even with all that depth, it's going to really rely on those guys to really step up and open up those lanes, open up those gaps, and provide that protection for Geno. So we're really gonna. That's one thing we're definitely going to go ahead and see on Sunday. That's one thing I'm going to go ahead and pay attention on is, how is this offensive line going to perform come Sunday? Everything is really indicative of them being able to go ahead and open up those lanes for Genty, for Mostert, for Zamir White when it counts. But real quick, let me go ahead and hit up the chat again. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. Let's see here. All right. My guy, 805 says Chip Kelly offense don't matter. Adam Butler Super Bowl. There you go, bro. There you go. Shout out to my guy Anthony with the Gray Dot Gang salute, bro. Hey, you never know, bro. Maybe the algorithm doesn't get over here. You never know. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Rock on me for sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Go down here. There you go. JJPE's play action. Put them in there, bro. For sure. All right. My guy GMX says Geno needs to run the show. He needs to be the workhorse. Can't really rely on the rookies to be game changers. Facts, brother. And obviously, we got Dante Thornton, we got Jack Bash, Genty, still rookie himself, but it's going to be guys like Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer are really the guys that are going to be step up, be leaders out there, make those big plays when they count, for sure. But and staying in that topic, um, this is one thing I kind of wanted to touch on. Will we see a lot of two tight end sets, right? Having Michael Mayer out there lined up traditionally at tight end, having Brock either lined up outside or in the slot. How is that going to look like? Are we going to see a lot of that? Are we going to see them switching? That could be also a possibility. There's so many ways. There's so many things that that can go ahead and play out. I'm really excited to see how this is really going to unfold. Now, one thing is for sure that I want to go ahead and put out there is that we are going to see more of Michael Mayer, more than we saw in previous years, right? In previous season, we didn't see him a whole lot last season. Once he came back from his situation, I think now he's going to be really more utilized as he should have from last season, right? You had Getsy. Really, Luke Getsy didn't know really how to kind of utilize him, and Brock. Then he had the Turners take over. We saw little glimpses here and there, but nothing really concrete. So I think this season we finally get to see Michael Mayer in action. I'm really excited to go ahead and see what he can go ahead and do. Obviously, we know Brock's going to be a stud. This is literally going to be probably the Brock show for the first. I think probably for the first 6 weeks. We're going to see him really shine, really come out and just light shit up, right? We saw glimpses this preseason. We saw big catches in Arizona and in that game versus the Niners. So we're seeing really good things from Brock. I'm not worried about Brock. It's just how is this tight end, the two tight ends, that really going to work? Are we going to see a lot of that? I hope we do, and especially hopefully that happens in the red zone where we're going to need to go ahead and utilize something like that. We're going to really utilize those big guys to go ahead and help put points on the board. Let's see here. Let me go into this segment here. Will the receivers finally show out in this new offense? Now, we've seen a little bit of Jack Bash. We've seen Dante Thornton. We'll talk a little bit about Dante Thornton in just a second, right? Dante Thornton needs development for sure. But we went out, got Amari Cooper. We got Jacoby Myers. He's still here. He's not going anywhere. As far as is there a deal that's going to go ahead and happen before Sunday? Could possibly happen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's happened before with other teams. They've worked on and try to figure out a deal, and it literally happens the day of the game or day before the game. So it could potentially happen. It could potentially go down. But we still have Jacoby. We got Trey. How's that going to look like, right? I think we're going to see really Jacoby ball out. It's in his best interest to go ahead and do so, especially if he's going to go ahead and try to test the open market next year. Trey is going to be that deep threat as always, but we're really going to go ahead and also line up Amari normally like we would Dante on this outside. We're going to see him get some decent amount of targets. We're not going to see him get him a whole lot, but we're going to see a pretty good amount for sure. So I'm really excited to see how this offense is really going to go ahead and look. You can only cover so many guys. You give an opportunity and try to double team Brock. You might have Jacoby open. Same thing. You might try to double team Jacoby. You're going to have And if Amari's lined up on the other side, you're gonna have Amari there. So there's certain schemes that are gonna go ahead and dial up to go ahead and really make this Patriots defense guess and really be on their toes, right? And remember, just kind of going back to what Gino said earlier in training camp, if you try to go ahead and play as man, it's gonna be a long day. You're gonna get cooked. You're gonna get cooked, and I think that's literally gonna be the case. And Gino can throw it on a dime, most of the time. If he finds this guy open, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. So, um, you know, hopefully these receivers ball out. I'm really excited to go ahead and see Jacoby in action and really get some targets going. Same thing for Trey, for Brock. Even though he's tight end, he's going to be utilized kind of like that hybrid type, receiver tight end, and you know what he can do. And then just return to Amari and see what he can do. But once Besh is there, hopefully he does capitalize of certain situations, of certain matchups. Same thing for Dante. Once he gets a certain matchup going, he needs to be able to make those catches. I think that's a hard stressor. Kid has potential, yes. I don't think we're going to see him as much as we thought we were going to see him because of Amari now. But when he's out there and he has those key matchups where he's on a smaller guy, he's on a guy who's a little bit slower, he needs to be able to go ahead and win those matchups and make those guys and make the team pay for sure, 100%. Again, shout out to everybody rocking with me on this Monday afternoon, wherever you guys be at. Whether you guys are at the crib, hopefully you guys are at the crib, or you guys at work, if you guys are stuck at work, hopefully that's not the case, but it could be. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Monday night. Let's see here. Let me go out and tap into the chat real quick. And again, appreciate everyone pulling up, rocking with me. Let's see here. My guy Bueno said, if Jacoby shows out against the Pats, extend his ass right after the game. Shit, extend his ass before the game, my guy. Before. I think this is a situation where you just need to go ahead and nip that in the bud. Now, whatever that's going to look like. And I talked about it on Saturday on Good Morning Raiders with my guy Rundown and Brian Fowler, All In Out a Win. Shout out to All In Out a Win. If this is a situation where you just need to go ahead and give that $11 million up front, that guaranteed money up front, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take care of them. If you're reluctant to go ahead and bring them back next year, you want to see what Jack can do, front him some money. From the money. He just wants to go ahead and have something guaranteed on his plate. That to me seems the most logical standpoint. That's something that could potentially happen, is having that $11 million come to him sooner rather than later. I really do hope. But if they're not going to do that and they want to go ahead and bring him back the next 2 years, I hope they do that. And I hope it's something that makes sense for both sides, obviously. Like I said, I want to go up. I want to go more than 25 per on him. I think 25 is probably the max cap. But realistically, anywhere between 22, 23, 24 would make something where it makes sense. He's getting paid a little bit more, but he's not getting that true wide receiver one money, right? Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Geomax. Raider Nation showing out 6 more days, fellas. Raiders will be 1-0. Raiders 31, Patriots 22. Talk that shit, Gio. There you go. And I was talking to just another DJ on Twitter. And I told him, I think this is a situation because he's a little bit trepidatious on his offense. And I told him, you know what? I think this is a situation where I honestly, I'm more afraid of of our defense than their defense. I know that we're going to go ahead and produce points on the board. He had his below 20. I have his way above 20. Not 30, but somewhere in that mid 20 range. And we're going to get into that in just a bit. But definitely, the offense, I feel, is going to be really rocking on Sunday for sure. Again, if you guys are watching on Twitter, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link. Head over to YouTube, be a part of the chat, be involved. Hit that subscribe button, hit those likes for sure for your old boy Jay here. Let's see here. My guy Gio says, I don't want to see the rookies contribute too much. Third and critical is no place for rookie. Raiders always ruin a drive with those burritos. Yeah, man. I mean, now we got three veterans. We got four veterans technically, or five. It just depends what are we running, right? So you got Brock, you got Jacoby, you got Trey, you got Amari now, you got Michael Mayer. If you're running a two tight end set, you got those guys out there that can make critical plays and be able to go ahead and be spatially aware on certain situations where you might need to go ahead and stretch for that first down, right? Big thing here with Brock is that he's able to do that yak all day, baby. That yard after carry, right? And that's what he's notorious for. So I think in certain situations we're going to see Brock come out and be able to do what Brock does best, get those yards after carry and get those first downs. The main thing here is, and I think that we all should see, and hopefully we do see on Sunday, is that continuation of the drives where we have minimal, 3 and outs, right? And that's something that we struggled last year, is that we could not get into a rhythm, or we couldn't get into a fast start, right? A hot start. And if we did, that was it. That was the only points that we got for until the fourth quarter. And hopefully this will not be the case. It should not be the case with the amount of talent that we got on offense, right? It should not be the case. So hopefully we sustain these drives, we control the clock, but that's the big thing here, because now our defense, we're going to have to flip the script on our defense. I'm going to touch on the defense because that's probably one of the pivotal things that I'm going to really stress about in just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and reset some expectations for y'all, because what I'm thinking and what this season's kind of looking like moving forward, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It's gonna be those stressful. It's gonna be a stressful season. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm setting the tone right now. I'm setting the expectation right now, y'all. It is gonna be one of those stressful seasons for sure. But we'll get into that. Shout out to my guy Bloody Raider in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for tapping in. Let's see here. My guy Jack says, "What if that was funny? I call the defense the Legion of Boom. Now, dollar store defense rated need to score a lot of points. 100%. 100%. Shout out to my guy Rebel in the building. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys go ahead and give my guy Rebel a follow, bringing that fire content over at his channel. Shout out to him. If he shows out at the Patriots game, they might trade him back. I don't know, bro. I don't think Jacoby goes anywhere, brother. For sure. Yeah. Right? Me too, bro. From me some money. Shit. Let's see here. Yeah. See, my guy Jay says it could happen literally on game day morning. Yep, it could definitely happen. Be on the lookout. Obviously, if it does happen, I might do a quick live for that. I got, obviously we're going to do the post-game show. We're going to really get into that if it does happen. But if there's something that pops off early morning, might get into a short live. We just talk about it and, really get into depth on how everything looks. It would definitely be a booster if that does happen for sure. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. Okay. My guy says down by 1 week, we kick a field goal to win the game. Could be just that, bro. Could be just that. And we're gonna go ahead and get into this part. How many points will this offense put up this season per game? What are we gonna kind of average? What is that gonna look like? And like I said, I was talking to our guy, just another DJ on Twitter. Shout out to him if you're watching, brother. Appreciate you. Um, he had his under 20 in this game. He had a 20-16, right? And it's still under 7 points, right? Um, but I think with this offense, with the talent that is carrying, we're gonna be we're gonna be averaging more than 21 points per game. We're gonna be looking between that 24, 27, 28 points per game. We're gonna be under 30. But I think this offense has that capability of putting up points um, um, in a good amount. A good amount. If we can go ahead and score, we can go ahead and score 14 by the half. I think we're in pretty decent shape. But if we're back to struggling and we just have 7 on the board, we have 3 on the board, we have 10, it's going to be rough, right? But no doubt, I have the faith that this team is going to score more than 21 points per game. Earlier in the offseason, it was put out there they have us kind of averaging about 24 points per game. I still feel that's going to be true. I don't really see that being less than that. I see you can go ahead and argue maybe 28 points per game. You can do that if you're going to stick to the sevens. But anywhere from 24 to 28, it's going to be that realm where we're going to go ahead and put up points. Now, you're going to need to go ahead and put up points, especially with the defense that we currently have. We're about to go ahead and dive into that part, but this is going to be a season where the offense is going to be the ones that are going to bail us out. The offense is really going to be the ones that bail us out. It's going to be those really close knit games, y'all. I'm putting it out there right now. These are going to be stressful games, one under 10 points. It's going to be 7 or less in that realm. Most of these games are going to be won by that measure. And it's a combination of our offense and it's also our defense, right? Our defense is gonna struggle stopping certain things, right? We have certain vulnerabilities. We're gonna talk a little bit about it right now in just a bit, but that defense is not gonna be the ones that are gonna bail us out anymore. It's gonna be our offense that are really gonna go ahead and keep us in games and keep us competitive. And it's all about control of the clock. If we can control the clock on this side of the offensive side of the ball, that means our defense doesn't have to be on the field as much. We'll be able to go ahead and control more of the narrative where, like Rebel said, we can go ahead and win certain games by a field goal, like we win on Sunday. And if it's going to be a back and forth battle, it can literally be decided by a field goal. And if you're controlling the clock, that's going to be all the better. And this is another thing too. Despite however you feel about Pete, right? And we've had highs and lows up to this point in this off season, in this training camp. But however you feel about him, the guy's experience is going to be able to go ahead and manage these games way better than his predecessor did with AP. And there's not a big knock to AP, but at the same time too, he was inexperienced. He was trying to learn the game, right? We've all last year, you guys remember, even on lives, we criticized certain situations because of clock management. Clock management was not managed great last season, and I think with Pete here, that's going to be nipped in the butt for sure. So having those two things added, where we can definitely go ahead and run the ball, manage the ball better, manage the clock better, we're going to be able to go ahead and kind of swing certain things into our direction, right? But if this is a narrative, if there are games where the narrative is like the defense has to go ahead and bail us out, or 2 minutes or less to go in the game, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, right? It's it's a lot of pressure on the defense. It's going to really indicate a lot from our front four. I'm going to go ahead and get into that in just a second, but I want to put that out there that these games are going to be tooth and nail games, y'all. So be ready. Have your depends on, because it's going to be those type of games for sure. Again, appreciate everyone rocking with me on this Monday night. Wherever you guys be at, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, hit those likes. It really does go ahead and support the show and get the show out to the YouTube universe. Appreciate everyone pulling up. If you really want to go ahead and support the show, make sure you guys go ahead and become a member, be a part of the JRB fam. The link is pinned up top. It really does go a long way to go ahead and help to keep the lights on here at Just Raiders. All right, let's see here. Let me go ahead and check in with my chat. Let's see. Yeah. See, there you go. Jay said to be fine with giving Jacoby $22 million per year. There you go. Let's see here. All right. Shout out to my guy Hitstick in the building. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. He says that got us low-key averaging 23 points per game for this season. That way, see, either way, bro, I see us putting up more than 20. And that's something that we struggled last year. There were times we can't fucking put 20 points on the game, not even 18 or 17 points on the game. It was pretty bad. So for sure, this season's going to be flipped, and we're definitely going to be able to go ahead and put points on the board for sure. Let's see here. Frank says 28 points per game. There you go. Let's see. Rebel says by week 5, this defense will strike fear into our opponents. Bank it. I don't know about fear, bro, but hopefully at least they'll be able to go ahead and respect us for sure. I really do hope that, because how I'm looking at it, there's certain areas that are a little bit scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Average 24 points will get us to the playoffs. I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. There you go. My guy James in the building. Stop by to say Raiders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see. Appreciate you, Rev, pulling up. Salute to Pologen. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute. All right. So let me go ahead and go over these. Go over to the next segment here. Raider cuts. So we had some cuts today. We had some things go down, y'all. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Let's see here. All right. Trying to go ahead and pull up my bookmarks. All right. All right, here we go. Bookmarks. There we go. Sorry, I changed my my layout. Changed my layout on Twitter, so it's a little different now. All right. Let me see. All right, so Raiders make some roster moves. I can't. Yeah, it won't let me change it. Damn it. All right. All right. Because the move, my setup on Twitter is a little different, so it's all small. But let me see if I can pull it up through here. All right, here we go. Yeah, I need to open up another window. All right, there we go. So Raiders make some transactions today. Raiders sign Brian Asamoah and quarterback Jeff Driscoll to the practice squad, and the Raiders release linebacker Matt Jones and safety Trey Taylor from the practice squad. So the 7th-round pick of the Raiders from 2024, he is gone. He is out. So bye bye to him, right? Um, it's a little bit surprising. I thought that we're going to go ahead and keep him, but um, he is not. One thing I am a little bit excited to see. I am excited to go ahead and see Matt Jones finally gone from the Raiders. That the offseason play from him was not good. But the interesting part was that Raiders go out and get another backup. So we already have Cam back there, so it's a little bit unorthodox for a football team to have two backups on a practice squad. It is what it is, but either way, I don't know. I don't know exactly what this means for AOC once he comes back. That's going to be an interesting topic. Are they going to go ahead and run with three quarterbacks on the starting roster, or are they going to go ahead and kick Aiden down to the practice squad and let Jeff Driscoll go? That's going to be the question in the future once AOC comes back. Linebacker Brian Asamoah, just having some more depth just in case something happens during the season. They need to go ahead and bring in another guy into that room for sure. But I wanted to go ahead and share that news with you guys. We did have some transactions that happened earlier today for sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into the defense, y'all. Much anticipated, right? And I think this is probably going to be the story of our season, is really this defense. Can they really go ahead and step it up and really be that defense that we really need them to be? I'm going to kick things off. Is who's going to step up aside from Max in this D line? You have Malcolm Kuntz, literally on that 1-year prove deal. We need big things from him. Adam Butler, that vet back here with us now in the starting role on a full-time basis. And then you have Jonah Walu as well. But who do you guys think out of this D-line is going to go ahead and step up? Honestly, I hope it is Kuntz, because we're going to need big pressure coming from this front four. With the secondary, the way it's looking currently, this front four definitely needs to go ahead and be able to do the damn thing and provide some big pressure on these quarterbacks to be able to go ahead and really take out that secondary from the equation, or have these quarterbacks rush their throws and have that secondary have a shot to be able to go ahead and make plays. But who do y'all thinking would be the guy that steps up in this secondary? Let me know. We can go ahead and put a quick poll on it. Let's see here. Let's see. Who do you think will step up aside from Max this season? All right. There we go. See. All right. So would it be Malcolm Kuntz? Would it be Jonah Walu? Or is it going to be Adam Butler? And I already know 805's answer. I already know his answer is going to be it's going to be Butler. Butler's going to produce. But let me know you guys' thoughts. Put that poll up. make sure you guys go ahead and cast your vote. Let your voice be heard on that poll for sure. Let me go while you guys do that. Let me go ahead and get into this part. What's going to be Tyree's contribution in this whole thing? Obviously, we know he's going to be a rotational piece, but is he going to be able to go ahead and put up those big numbers? Is he really going to be able to go ahead and make an impact? This is also a put up a shut up deal of the year for him that he really needs to go ahead and step up and put his best foot forward, whether it's going to be at D tackle, it's going to be at edge, or mixture of both. He really does need to go ahead and be impactful. I think, provided that this defense is really probably going to really rely on the front forward to provide that pressure, and you're going to see also that pressure come from blitzes, right? But you can't solely use that. If you can go ahead and really provide pressure without utilizing a lot of blitzes, it makes the world a whole lot better. But what is really Tyree's gonna be his contribution? Is he gonna really be able to go ahead and step up, or are we gonna see the Tyree of old? That is the question, right? I really do hope that he's able to go ahead and step up, provide a big contribution to this defense. It's only not only in our best interest and his best interest to do so, especially if he wants to go ahead and make this roster next year. And if he doesn't, if we see mediocre performance where he gets 6 sacks, 5 sacks, 7 sacks, anything under realistically under 8, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Not for the seventh overall pick, right? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But I really think that we really do need to see big things from Tyree this season for sure, 100%. Let me get into this part, and I really didn't touch it a whole lot on Saturday. Will these linebackers light it up? I think this is probably one of the group that I'm very excited to go ahead and see outside of our offense, outside of Max Crosby, is realistically these linebackers and Jamal Adams, Landon Roberts, and Jermaine Pratt really going out there and doing the damn thing. And then even to a little bit lesser extent, Devin White, right? And Devin White had a pretty good preseason. But Jamal Adams is just killing it right now, right? The big thing here is with Jamal, however you're going to utilize him, because he's not really a true linebacker, is for him to really stay healthy. I think having him there, having him come in on certain, situations where they have him line up in the slot and, you got that blitz going, he's gonna make some noise for sure. 100%. He's gonna be that X factor that you're not gonna see coming, that guys are gonna have to really go ahead and really keep their eye on. And that's gonna open up things for hopefully for Max and Malcolm to go ahead and do their thing. And really, really make turnovers happen. I think with this season, I think really it's going to be indicative of, can the defense really do turnovers, right? Can they hopefully stop the run? That's a big thing here. For 2, create turnovers. The secondary, we're going to get into it in just a second again. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle. But if the linebackers, if the front 4 can go ahead and apply good pressure, can create turnovers, you got Jermaine Pratt, who's wily, can go ahead and pick balls up. You definitely can. He can make plays like that. That's the guy you got to go ahead and keep your eye on. You got Jamal Adams that can come in and just light shit up. Same thing with the Landon Roberts. I really, really, really am excited from these linebackers. I think this is probably one of the good things that we currently have on this defense outside of Max Crosby and Malcolm Coons, a little bit lesser extent Adam Butler. You got some guys in the safety room that we'll get into that in just a bit, but really, really does, you know, is going to be a really big thing here for sure for the defense. Really quick, appreciate my guys. I appreciate everyone pulling up. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the chat. Y'all some crazy motherfuckers talking about some crazy shit. Pause. 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 That's all I'm gonna say over there. But you guys are crazy, man. For sure. Bueno's wilding out today. Shout out to my guy Bueno. Oh man. Let's see. That Joe is in the game of benches, man. Damn. Y'all nasty. Y'all nasty. Shout out to my guy GMX. He says if Tyree steps it up, Coons and Crosby will be unstoppable 100%. And man, that's gonna be a serious front four. And I think that's kind of what a little bit of what Rebel was alluding to. Obviously, I didn't get his full take on the defense, but you know, it's not me giving up hope on this defense. It's not that, but there's questions, bro. I mean, you can't say that there's nothing wrong with this defense. This defense is gonna be a-okay. We're just gonna go out and just like kill shit. No, we have some issues that that were not addressed. That hopefully we can find a little bit of Band-Aid on, but Band-Aids don't do a whole lot. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Johnny, aka Bluto. Depends on how he pressures and assists TFLs. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up on X. He says, I believe we are fine on the front seven. We need to get to secondary to play good technique and no blown assignment. Yes, sir. 100%. You're on the money. And we're definitely going to go ahead and get into that part in just a second. Let's see here. Shout out to Raph in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute to you. Pulling up. Yes, sir. Let's see. All right. Let's get into it. Secondary concerns, right? These corners are suspect. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean, y'all. You got Eric Stokes as corner at CB1. You have Darian Porter at CB2, right? You have a rookie as your CB2. You have a guy, veteran, yes, talented, yes, but his health has been a concern over seasons, right? He's been injured. He's been out for multiple games. So my thing is this: what happens if Eric Stokes goes down? And I asked that on Saturday. What happens if Eric Stokes goes down? Who's going to go ahead and step up? Right? Is Darian? Well, hopefully. And then who's going to be behind Darian? Is it going to be Kai Bukele? Is it going to be Darnay Holmes? Is it going to be DCAM? Who's going to be really that guy that steps up? So that's going to be the interesting part. Now we've seen it, and I've seen it. I've seen it, the games that I've seen it at open practice. I saw on that Arizona game that we've seen Darian Porter be a rookie. He's gotten beat on certain plays, right? As much talent he has, he's gotten beat. Now you're going to week one with some experienced folk. How is that going to look like, right? We haven't addressed the nickel situation, right? And with that nickel situation, you're probably going to see a lot more of Jeremy Chin come down, right? And playing that nickel spot. But for right now, the de facto is still Darnay Holmes. I haven't seen anything yet that says otherwise. But it's still Darnay Holmes, right? My guy Sacktown Red Mark says Kyrie Bukele's been looking good. Yes, he has been looking good, and I'm glad he's stepping up, and I'm glad he's emerging more of that guy who who can really, make a run to go up the ladder, right? And the more guys that we have performing at a higher level, the better we look in that secondary. But I mean, there's still levels to this shit, right? So that nickel, that middle of the field is big vulnerability, right? And if you don't have enough pressure there, if you're having to go ahead and really rely on blitzes to provide that pressure, and these guys cannot get through, and these quarterbacks get smart and they start, running in routes and releasing that ball really quickly, we're gonna be in for a long game for sure, for sure. It's gonna be even worse if you can't stop that run game. But I mean, just going more in that secondary, in that middle of the field, that nickel position is a big thing here, and we really haven't addressed it. We haven't gone out and gotten more depth in that corner position. I think we just went out and got JT Woods. He's still there, and um, we got DCAM. DCAM has been performing a little bit better. I'm glad to see that, but I need to see more. Right? You have your safeties, and we talked about Jeremy Chin, and you're gonna see Jeremy going down in the box. Who's gonna be there, right? Who's gonna be there to go ahead and really cover that position? So they're gonna really rely on put everything on Isaiah Palma to go ahead and cover all that. I guess you could, but it's a big order. It's a tall order. I don't know. I don't know. I think that goes into like my next segment here is that should the Raiders go after Jabril Peppers? Right, he's been out. He's been in the woodworks for I think the last almost 2 weeks now, and we haven't pulled the trigger yet. We haven't pulled the trigger yet. So, um, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think we go after Peppers? Do you think we think we're good at where we're at? We try to go ahead and focus on a trade with somebody else. Because let me tell you something right now, guys. This whole issue with the secondary does not get resolved. I don't think it gets resolved this season. Unless we go out and find somebody to go ahead and trade with and be able to get a better corner. I don't really see this the secondary really being fixed until next season, right? And that's just the truth. That's just the truth of it all. So, um, but obviously, let me know you guys' thoughts. Shout out to my guy Chewy in the building. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute to you. Salute to the 50 in the building, rocking with me on this Monday night. Appreciate everyone pulling up, tapping in. And if you are on Instagram and X, Twitter, make sure you guys click that link. I got it pinned down below. Come on over to YouTube. Hit that check in, hit that subscribe button, click those likes. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday afternoon, Monday night, wherever you guys be at. Let's see here. Go to the chat real quick. Jill says last year Raiders gave up 216 yards per game, passing yards per game, 16th overall. I think this year that average is going up. I think so too. So it's just a little bit of a scary thought. So come Sunday, that's the thing that I'm gonna be looking for is just how is the secondary really gonna go ahead and perform? It's a combination of us being able to go ahead and apply pressure and stopping the run. Outside of that, it's tough. And it's a lot of pressure on our safeties to be able to really kind of stop everything deep, right? And I think that's probably what Pete kind of settled on. It's just like, look, if we can go ahead and apply pressure and stop the run, I think we win. We got our safeties that are pretty solid that they can go ahead and be able to cover a lot of things up top and prevent a lot of deep balls being scored. But then you have that middle that's literally opened up and there for the picking if you know how to go ahead and really attack it right. Right. That's really kind of what it boils down to. I think, but kind of going back to the subject here, you know, you got a guy in Peppers who is a vet who's been around the league for quite a while. He posted something earlier today saying that he's been. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull that up. Give me a second. That he's been in the league for a while. That he's been and through so many coaches, so many systems that he can go ahead and kind of perform wherever he needs to go ahead and perform. There we go. Let me pull up his thing. All right, let me pull this up. Let me share this with you guys real quick, and that way we can talk about it. All right. Let me zoom in. Shout out to Jabril. He says, going on 9 years in this league, I've had 7 head coaches, 6 defensive coordinators. LOL, there is no scheme you can place me where I don't find a way to be effective. Man, I mean, I don't know. You guys interpret it as you will, but that says something to me. Either way, this kid is talented. I think he could definitely be an asset to us if we're able to go ahead and make that move. If we're able to make that move, they want to go ahead and make that move is what I should say. Um, you know, there's been plenty of times where we've talked about Raiders should do this, Raiders should do that, and trigger doesn't get pulled, right? Or wasn't even on the radar for whatever reason. And Pete is very particular on certain things, and defense is definitely one of those things. So I don't know. I don't know if this actually would happen. I mean, we're literally in. We're getting ready for the Patriots. We've gone past training camp. Training camp is over. Now we're in it. Now we're in season. The longer we wait to bring on another guy, the longer it is going to take to go ahead and really get everybody in sync and being able to go ahead and get everybody up to speed. So if it does happen, hopefully it does happen really soon. If they decide to go ahead and really pull the trigger on Jabril Peppers. But what do you guys think? You guys think that they should go ahead and bring in Peppers? Or you think we should pass up on them? Again, you guys let me know your thoughts down in the chat below. And again, appreciate the 50 in the building rocking with me on this Monday night, Monday afternoon, wherever you guys be. I appreciate everyone pulling up. Shout out to my guy Jeff. He says, fuck the New England Pathetics. Hey, if you guys are going to New England, make sure you hit up my boy Jeff. He is the one with the whole events going down this damn weekend. Shout out to my guy, hardest working guy in New England right now, putting everything together. Man. Go ahead and drop your link down below, Jeff, for your link tree. So if you guys are going to week 1 in New England, click that link. He's about to drop it in just a second. He has everything, all the events going down in New England. He has an event going down in Rhode Island at a tavern. Yeah, there's a Al Davis Memorial that's happening on that Saturday as well. There's a lot of things going down in New England for that week 1. Plus, they have a big black hole tailgate that's going to be going on. I think Lot 55B. Man, I am jealous. I wish I was there, brother. But hit that link, put it down there. That way everybody can go ahead and tap into that. There you go. Make sure you guys hit that link for that. Let's see here. I'll try to go ahead and I'll put it on Twitter as well. Copy link. There we go. There you go. There we go. Put that in Twitter. Oops. I guess it didn't say Ohana. Oh, there it did. Let me go ahead and try to put that link one more time. Copy link address. There we go. Okay. Send it to me on Instagram, bro, and I'll put it in my on my Twitter chat. It's copying the whole thing, but yeah, man. What do you guys think about Jabril Peppers? Should the Raiders go after him? Do you think he would be? Do you think he would be an asset over to the Raiders if we were to go ahead and plug him into our defense? Let me know down below. Let's see. My guy Gio says Raiders should pay Jacoby. Yeah, brother, you and me both. I'm definitely waiting on that. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and tap into the poll real quick. Again, I asked you guys earlier, who do you think will step up aside from Max this season? Malcolm Kuntz, Jonah Lalo, or Adam Butler? Currently, it's tied at 40% with Malcolm Kuntz and Adam Butler, 20% going into Jonah Lalo with 15 votes casted in. If you haven't done so already, make sure you guys head on over to YouTube if you guys are on X, on Twitter, or on Instagram. Cast your vote. Let your voice be heard. Be a part of the chat. Well, I will check in right before we go ahead and end the show and see where it's at for sure. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff's gonna go to hibernation. I think for like a week, bro. I won't see him. I won't see him till like week 2, bro. Like the Sunday. He'll pop up sometime Sunday, the following week for sure. Yeah, man. I wish I was going to. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. But let me go ahead and go into my next segment, keys to victory for Sunday for the Raiders. And I'm going to go ahead and go over this on Saturday as well. We're going to go ahead and really chop it up with Rundown and get his takes to his keys to victory. But, keys to victory for me, obviously, offensively, we got to go ahead and really establish our run game. I think that's without being said. You really control the clock, providing those targets to Brock, to Jacoby, to Dante, to Amari, having a couple of deep shots to Dante and Trey on certain packages. That O-line really needs to go ahead and step up and really create protection and open up those gaps for Genty in order for the run game to really be successful. I think without being said, is scoring over 20 points per game, scoring over 21 points per game. I really think that this is going to be a game where we don't score over 30, but it's going to be in those mid to high 20s for sure. I'm getting into score predictions in just a bit. Defensively on the other side of the ball, we got to definitely go ahead and stop the run game. We're gonna finally see Amari Hampton go up against an actual front four, right? And Max Crosby. Can Max Crosby provide the pressure needed to get to Drake May? Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully Kuntz needs to have that big game for him to really be effective and really have the front four apply pressure. Same thing in Adam Butler and Jonah Wall. They have to go ahead and be able to stop the run game. And that linebacker group, having E-Rob doing what he does best, light up dudes. I see him light up a dude on open practice, and that was crazy. Now it's going to be for real this time, right? Same thing in Jamal Adams. Just getting to that quarterback. Effective tackling on this defense is going to be the main thing here. Keeping those missed tackles that we saw probably in that week 1 first game, even a little bit into that, second week of preseason, keeping those down and really, really hammering down on those tackles, providing solid tackles, secondary, doing what we can, obviously having Eric Stokes and Darian Porter have big games, right? It's going to be interesting with certain matchups that Darren is going to have, right? Is he going to be able to go ahead and really, pass his test? I can't wait to see Paul Mao and Jeremy Chen, but we're going to expect to see Jeremy Chen come down and play nickel at times, right? Hopefully, we get to see more of Paul Mao making those big plays. Same thing for Jeremy Chen. We need that from our safeties, right? But hopefully, we do see that bend don't break on this defense. I would not hold my breath on that, and we probably will see. We might see some big plays be given up, and I want people not to panic when that happens. We're gonna pull our fucking hair for sure because I think that's just the natural reaction we have. But this is gonna be a situation where offense is really gonna come in and bail us out. So just be ready for that. You might see some big plays be given up. But I think if we're able to really provide pressure, whether that be, hopefully that's more from just the front four itself, but we have to go ahead and really disguise that with blitzes, and so be it, stopping that run game. I think we have a really good shot of being able to go ahead and come out with a dub in New England. Um, that is my keys to victory. Obviously, putting up more than 21 points per game for this game. If we could be between the 24 and 27, 28 mark, I think we'd be good. I think we could definitely go ahead and steal it for sure. Going into the score predictions, because everybody's giving me the score predictions. So before I give I want everybody to go ahead and whether you're on Twitter, whether you guys are on YouTube, Instagram, go ahead and put up your predictions on score predictions for this Sunday coming up versus the Patriots. Week 1 in Foxborough, finally underway. Go ahead and let me know. What do you think will the final score be? Do you think we pull up the dub? Do you think we win it by a field goal? We win it by 7? What are your thoughts? Let me know, guys. Really quick shout out to the Raider Ramble on Instagram. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you. He is on Instagram and on Twitter. Salute to him. Appreciate you pulling up. But you guys, let me know down below. Let me go ahead and start reading off some of that. Shout out to my guy Will in the building. Salute to you, brother. Hey, we got to go ahead and link up and do something together soon for sure. Shout out to my guy, just another DJ. He's like, you already know, Jay, 20 to 16. Hey, bro. And it's Patriots, not Raiders. So everybody knows. But hey, man, you know what? I respect it, bro. Like, I commend you for sticking to your gun. 20 to 16, Patriots. Just another DJ. Have the L on that one. Will says tie 0-0. LOL. My guy GMX 31-22 Patriots. There you go. Raiders with the dub. Raiders winning by what? 9. There you go. All right. Shout out to my guy Raider Darren 27-24 Raiders. Okay, there you go. I like that, and that's what I'm thinking too. More along those lines. I honestly think it's probably going to be 28-21. I'm calling that 28-21. I think we can go ahead and get the touchdown. But if I see us getting the dub either way, so it's either 28-21 or it's going to be 24-21 Raiders. If we're going to win by field goal, and it's going to be a close game. Again, that even if we win by 7, that 7 is going to be won within the last under 5 minutes. That's how I see this game kind of panning out. It's going to be, for me, I think it's going to be a very back and forth game between both teams, and I think we can go ahead and steal one in Foxborough. And I know it will make Jeff happy. It will make me happy. It'll make everybody happy. But I think we can go ahead and steal it in Foxborough. But don't expect a blowout. I don't think we get blown out. But it's going to be definitely a back and forth contest. Uh, you guys might come out a little bit balder at the end of the game, just so you know. Just make sure you guys have your hams on deck if that happens for sure. My guy Gio says, I hope Gino has an AOC first half hat when he whipped the shit out of the Chargers. Raider Nation deserves a day to talk major shit to the world. Facts, brother. Facts. 100%. I think Gino's gonna go out and just do his thing. Gino's gonna do Gino, bro. And I honestly see a different Gino from what I've seen in preseason. Now we're gonna see a full game of Gino. So can he really sustain it all 4 quarters? That is the real question. I think he can. I think he can. With the weapons he has, 100%. I think he can. My guy Raider Darren says, I must admit, I'm enjoying the last few weeks of seeing everyone online and talking Raiders. Raider Nation, motherfuckers. 100%. I'm glad you found us. Glad you found me, brother. You're in the perfect world, bro. It's all about Raiders here for sure. Let's see. My guy Justin Hadid said, yes, I see the Patriots winning. I hope I'm wrong. And the Raiders win by double digits. There you go, man, for sure. My guy Sacktown Raider Mike says 13-17 Raiders. Raiders putting that ass whooping. That's an ass whooping right there. There you go. For sure. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be double digits, bro. Honestly, whatever it looks like, whether it's by 10 or more, whether it's by a field goal, I just want to get the dub, man. Or even if it's by 1 point, if it's a situation where it's 21-20 win by the Raiders, which definitely could happen. I'm with it, man. The dub's a dub for me. You know, however that look, even if it doesn't look pretty, I'll take it. Shout out to my guy Marco's in the building. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. My guy Marco says 17-9 Raiders. Okay, you put us under 20. There you go. Okay, all right, there you go. Exactly. I just want to win. I want to win. I think that's what the nation wants. We just want to win. We want to see something being put together, some type of winning season, even if it's 9-8 type of season. I'm all with it for sure, 100%. For these next 2 games, I really think that we're going to start off fast. And I think it's in our best interest to start off fast, obviously, right? We got week 3 versus the Commanders in DC. And that game, I don't really see us putting out the dub on that one. That's a really hard game for us to go ahead and really win out on the road again. Then I think you have week 4 with let me look up the schedule real quick. I think it's the Bears schedule. There you go. Yes, week 4 is with the Bears. Then you have Colts on the road, and that's gonna be interesting. You got Titans after that, and then we get the Chiefs on the 19th. So, if we're able to go ahead and go 2-0, pull off the win on Sunday, win the home opener, which is a tall order, but it's a Monday night game, back from the road. If we lose to the Commanders, maybe take the L either with the Bears or the Colts. I think the Bears can potentially win that one. Colts, I think we got a good shot of winning that one. Colts don't look too great. And then it's kind of like 50-50 with the Titans. And then where the real test is going to be with KC on the road in Arrowhead. That's going to be the game to go ahead and really watch. I'm excited for that week 2, the home opener. Obviously, I'm going to be there in Vegas. We're going to do the damn thing. We're going to black it out. It's going to be a big turnout. Be ready, y'all. Whoever's going, let me know. We're going to do the damn thing. A lot of people going out to that game. It's a big weekend. Big weekend in Vegas. Fights going on. They have WWE going on. They're going to be there, I think, since the Monday before, and then they're going to have Friday Night SmackDown. You have the Canelo fight the following day, Canelo versus Bud Crawford. That's going to be an insane fight, and live on Netflix could be crazy. That's why I'm not going, because everything's crazy expensive for that Friday and Saturday. Then you got Sunday, nothing, right? And then Monday we got Monday night versus the Chargers. Black out that motherfucker, you already know. But it's going to be a good one. I think we have a good shot. It all depends also how we look on Sunday. If we look fucking terrible, I might change my tune. But even if we lose, but it was a close one, there's areas that obviously can definitely be improved, then cool, right? But if it's like just sloppy play and like we forgot to go ahead and the Raiders forgot to like go ahead and get their plane to Foxborough, then it's not my reaction is not going to be pretty for sure. That's for damn sure. But I really do have good faith that everything's going to be dialed in, focused with the team, especially with Pete. I think he's pretty good at keeping these guys dialed in and focused on the at the task at hand. Excuse me. Uh, Not so much from like last year where the focus at times were off and we had like a lot of things going on. So we'll see. Uh, my guy Sacktown says, I'll take my win. My hair is already gray. There you go, bro. I got some gray hair too, a little bit. A little bit. We'll see. Gio says, I'll be happy if Raiders off 42 at the half. I can only pray, bro. You can only pray. My guy Raider Darren says back in the day we were money on Monday nights with Madden and Stabler. Yep, 100%, bro. 100%. There you go. Yeah. See, I think you're right. Focus is key, bro. Focus is key, and it's gonna be a lot on. There's gonna be a lot on Pete to be able to go ahead and make sure these guys are truly focused and dialed in and make sure they're ready to go come Sunday, which I don't think there should be a problem for sure. Really quick, y'all, make sure you guys go ahead and catch the replay of Good Morning Raiders with myself, the Raider Rundown, and our special guest that we had, which is All In on a Win. The link is pinned down below in the description. If you're on YouTube, if you're on X, just go through my profile. I got the link pinned for the show. Great show. Shout out to Brian pulling up and rocking with us, talking some Raider football on Saturday. It was a good one. We have another episode of Good Morning Raiders coming up this damn Sunday. We have a very special guest from Lockdown Raiders podcast. They are gonna be pulling up, and this is gonna be a really, really good show. So make sure you guys are tapped into that for sure. As always, make sure you guys go ahead and tap in with me on Wednesdays. We have the Connection Show. Jeff and Nate are not going to be there, but me and Leo are going to cook up something good for that show. So make sure you guys pull up for the Raider Connection Wednesdays at 7 p.m. You already know what time it is. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for the Raider Connection every damn Wednesday. And then Good Morning Raiders, 10 a.m. Pacific, with myself, the Raider Rundown. We do a damn thing. Guys, we have guests going on every week, so it's going to be good. We have a really good special guest coming on this Saturday. Very exciting. Very exciting. So make sure you guys tap into that. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit those notifications on Twitter and on YouTube, especially if news goes on, I go on. Don't want to be left out in the dark. Make sure you guys are in the know for sure. Let's see here. Yep, there you go. Long distance. My guy, just another DJ says, I want to see more defensive turnovers from the secondary this year. I think that's going to come from the safeties and our linebacker core. I really do think that. And I'm not trying to discount completely Eric Stokes or Darren Porter. I really do hope they're able to go ahead and produce turnovers, but more importantly, really able to go ahead and have that tight coverage and be able to break up a lot of passes come this season is really indicative that they have a really good performance. And especially Eric Stokes just stays healthy, man. Just stays healthy for sure. But I really think that the turnovers are going to come from the linebackers, a little bit of the safeties. You might see a few turnovers here and there from the front four, and that would be great if they're able to go ahead and make that actually happen for sure, and really put a stamp on these games. Because if we're able to go ahead and do that, and have quite a few turnovers consistently per game, I think we have a really good shot having a pretty good record this year. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not gonna say playoffs or anything like that. My expectation still is 8-9. 8-9 is my magic number. I'm gonna hold to that until the end of the season. The end of the season. And if we do better than that, great. And if we don't, and if we're at least 8-9, I feel that's a victory for us to be able to go ahead and really start the process of turning the team around, and looking for us really being a contender, um, not only in the division but in the league. Period, for sure. Let's see here. Gio says best offensive coordinator since Bill Musgrave. I'm excited to see Chip Kelly's run game for sure, 100%. Me too. Appreciate you, yeah, pulling up. Salute to you. Appreciate the 50 people in the building rocking with me on this Monday night. Sacktown says, I think Jamal Adams is going to get a couple this year. Yep, me too, bro. Me too. And man, it's just I'm glad he's on the team. I'm glad we were go ahead and pick him up. He's really turned things around, and it's really been a highlight so far in this preseason. Hopefully, we get to really see that translate over to the regular season and really make an impact for our defense for sure. Shout out to my guy Gio with hold on, bro. I gotta do it right. Raiders! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. But other than that, that is my time for today. Again, appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, especially if you guys are over on X or Instagram, head on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. The link is pinned down on each of the streams on Instagram and Twitter. Jump on over, hit that subscribe button, turn on your noties, especially if you're feeling what you're hearing. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. And for all my ride or dies already in the building, make sure you guys click those thumbs. It really does go ahead and help get the show out into the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate everyone pulling up on this Monday night. Again, be ready for Wednesday, the connection show with me and Leo. We're gonna hold it down while Jeff and Nate go party, go have the time of their lives and party out. We got you, brother. We got you. No worries. But you guys have a great time. Me and Leo are definitely gonna go ahead and hold it down on Wednesday, and we're gonna have a something really good lined up for everyone for sure. And then really quick on the poll before I head on out. Again, I asked you guys, who do you think will step up aside from Max this season? Malcolm Kuntz, Jonah Waddle, or Adam Butler? 48% say Malcolm Kuntz, 39% say Adam Butler, with 13% for Jonah Waddle. Again, 23 votes casted. Again, appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on that. Appreciate to everyone who participated in that. Salute to you guys. But other than that, guys, that is it for me. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on this channel. But other than that, appreciate you guys. As always, love. Just remember, just Raiders, baby. Till next time, y'all. Peace.